Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we would be recapping Blind. Blind is a Korean thriller movie produced in 2011. Spoiler alert. Stay with me and enjoy. The movie started at a dancing club, where Min Soo-ah, a police academy student, went to drag out her surrogate brother Dong-hyun. Dong-hyun hesitated, which made her handcuff him to the car. Dong-hyun struggled with her to collect the key to the handcuff while she was driving, and this caused them an accident. Min Soo-ah lost her eyesight as a result of this accident and also lost her brother. 3 years later, Min Soo-ah visited the police station and asked to be readmitted into the academy. The head told her she wasn't retrenched due to her inability to see, but because her acts on her brother died was uncalled for as a policewoman, she left her duty post without prior notice, and went ahead to use the handcuff when it wasn't necessary, hence, he cannot help her get back to the force. She left the station feeling sad. She had struggles crossing the road alongside her pet dog. When she got home, she prepared some food for her pet dog. The next day, she visited the orphanage home which she grew up in. She was welcomed by the director, woman she calls mom. She was told that her brother's friends are organizing the third-year memorial of her brother and they would really love her to come. She insists she isn't coming because she is the reason why Dong-hyun died in the first place. When her mom tried to convince her otherwise, she got angry and walked out of the orphanage. Her mom wanted to take her back to Seoul, but she refused. It was a rainy night. All the cabs she called would take hours to reach her due to the rain. After several hours, she saw a cab. She noticed the cab wasn't a regular cab and the driver had a strong scent. She told the driver and wanted to open the window so the strong scent can reduce. Opening the window, she was wet by rain. The driver, Myung-jin, gave her coffee and told her to drink. She insisted she would drink the coffee later, but Myung-jin struggled to open the coffee for her so she can drink it immediately. In the process, Myung-jin hit a young lady. Myung-jin went out of the car to see the damage he had done. He rolled up the dead body into his car. Soo-ah also went out to check what happened. She asked him what he hit and he told her it was a dog. She feels a dog can't be huge enough to hit the windscreen of a car, hence she is convinced he hit a lady. Myung-jin tried to struggle with her and push her back into the car, but when he saw another vehicle coming, he pushed her away and drove off. The following day, Soo-ah went to the police station to report the crime. The police officer didn't pay her much attention because she was blind. At Myung-jin home, she laid the accident victim on a bed. The girl screamed for help and he just laughed at her. Inside the same room, another young lady is seen there. She was also kidnapped by Myung-jin. Soo-ah jotting book was also found in the room. The jotting book had her address and other information. There had been a missing person report at the police station, so a policeman, Detective Cho, called for Soo-ah. He asked her basic information like what's her name and her address. She told him she knew much more than that, and she can always describe the scenario based on what she felt and heard. She was able to convince Detective Cho, who attentively sat down to listen to her statement. She told him the killer was a man who is in his late 40s, he should be a doctor and he is left-handed. Consequent to her information, the police went to a deluxe taxi to find a left-handed driver. Another witness came forward, Kwon Gi-suk. He was in his teens and his testimony was quite different from that of Soo-ah. Gi-suk claimed he didn't see a taxi but a foreign car. The detective thinks Gi-suk came forward due to the announcement that a reward would be given to any witness with lead, so they sent him off. Detective Cho and Soo-ah wanted to catch the kidnapper. While in the process, Detective Cho complimented Soo-ah's skills and told her she should keep studying. She may be admitted back at the academy. Myung-jin kidnapped another young lady. She was coming from the club very drunk and she boarded his taxi. He gave her coffee to drink just like in Soo-ah case. She drank and it turned out the coffee was laced. He called Soo-ah using the victim's number, but he didn't talk at all. One day, when Detective Cho and Soo-ah were coming back from their search, they were in the car, and Detective Cho, true to wind down the window. The sound was the same as the cab Soo-ah entered. Detective Cho told her there was no cab of such model, so they realized Gi-suk was right as to what he saw. That same night Myung-jin tailed Gi-suk and attacked him by hitting stone on him. He dumped him in a nearby bin. Detective Cho, after realizing he was wrong, tried to call Gi-suk. When his phone rang, a passerby who went to the dump bin saw him and saved him. Coincidentally, Detective Cho and Soo-ah saw an ambulance passing and dropped to check. They saw it was Gi-suk and they followed him down to the hospital. When he regained consciousness, he nagged at Soo-ah for not believing him, insisting why should the detective believe a blind lady over him. This made Soo-ah discouraged and she said she is no longer interested in the search for the kidnapper. That night, when she got back home, she got a call from an unknown number. It was Myung-jin. He told her he can see her but she can't see him and if both witnesses keep talking, he would kill them. Terrified, she called Detective Cho. who couldn't pick up her call at that moment. She sent texts to Gi-suk asking him not to leave the hospital, but he discarded the text by saying, "Who is she to command him?" So she had to visit the hospital to talk with Gi-suk. She asked Gi-suk to remain at the hospital, but he refused and left her there. Myung-jin was also at the hospital. He tailed Soo-ah down there. So when Gi-suk left Soo-ah went to the subway to take a train. At the subway, Gi-suk saw a man following Soo-ah. Soo-ah and the kidnapper boarded the same train. Gi-suk called Soo-ah and told her to switch on her camera. He told her the kidnapper they are looking for was right in front of her and she should stop at the next train station. She stopped and Myung-jin stopped with her. While on call, Gi-suk directed her as to where to go. Myung-jin got hold of her and threatened her with a knife, asked her to keep walking. She had a pepper spray and she sprayed him. She used that opportunity to run till she got to an elevator. Just when the elevator was about closing, Myung-jin caught up with her and wanted to sedate her. Before he could achieve that, Soo-dog attacked him and dragged him out of the elevator, angrily killed the dog, but Soo-ah was able to escape. She woke up at the hospital and asked for her dog. Gi-suk showed her dog leeches and told her dog had gone far away. The police were able to identify the type of car with the aid of Gi-suk. Inspector Cho discharged Gi-suk and Soo-ah and asked them to hide at the orphanage. The owner and all the children traveled and just Gi-suk and Soo-ah were left. The police were still trying to find Myung-jin. Inspector Cho searched all hospitals looking for that model of vehicle. One day, he met Myung-jin. Myung-jin was just as Soo-ah described, so he was suspicious of him. He asked for his ID. Myung-jin purposely dropped his ID on the floor and attacked Inspector Cho. They got into a fight. After a long fight, he killed Inspector Cho and dumped his body. At the orphanage, Gi-suk and Soo-ah discussed their ambition to become police officer. She told him her brother was just around his age when he died, and she can no longer fulfill her ambition as she can't be admitted into the police academy again. Just about that time, Gi-suk received a text from Inspector Cho, asking about their hideout. He didn't know the text was from Myung-jin, so he replied telling him they are hiding at the orphanage. The policeman already got the identity of Myung-jin. He is an abortion specialist who had just been released from prison for the crime of raping and molestation of girls. They had issued a warrant for his arrest. Myung-jin arrived at the orphanage. He sat down and played loud music. Soo-ah wanted to confirm if it was Gi-suk, so she called out his name. She smelled that the person sitting was smoking cigarettes. Myung-jin came nearer to her and she smelled that he was the one. Gi-suk shouted, "The bastard is in front of you." Gi-suk attacked Myung-jin and asked Soo-ah to try to call the police. He distracted Myung-jin. Soo-ah can call for help, but she was unable to reach for her phone. Gi-suk was incapacitated. Myung-jin went to attack Soo-ah too. She ran away from him to no avail. The police already knew the hideout of Myung-jin. They went there and released all the kidnapped girls. They called the orphanage to no avail, then they drove straight to the orphanage. Soo-ah and Gi-suk fought for their lives till they ended downstairs. Soo-ah was beside the car knob when Myung-jin attacked her. She hit him on his head, and he fell unconscious. The police arrived and saved them. A year after, Soo-ah had graduated from the police academy and Gi-suk had also enrolled into the academy. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe to our channel so you can get notified when we post the next recap.